morning, class. I hope you guys are having a good week so far. Let's finish this week off strong. Okay, so would everyone get out your class notebooks right now? Go ahead and take out a pen, pencil, could be a marker if you have it. If you didn't bring your class notebook today, that's perfectly fine. Just go ahead and get a separate sheet of paper and go ahead and write down this prompt right up here. Okay? So, what is the best way to create change in America? Okay, I want you all to put that inside your notes, and I'll give you a few minutes, that way you can, again, copy this into your notebook and answer it. Okay? So with this question, I also want you to be a little bit more detailed with it. Tell me at what age you think could be the best way to create change in America. Okay? Now, it doesn't have to be super long. It could be 3 sentences if you need to. Okay? So I'll go ahead and be walking around the classroom just to see what you guys say. That way, if you guys need any help on defining it, I can go ahead. I can have a one-on-one with you. This can be anything from joining the military, going to college, or just being out and about helping your community and community service. Okay? But like I said, write this down. Write it down the age you think will happen. Okay? Once we finish with that, then we'll go ahead and go into a class discussion, and then I'll pick a couple of you, that way you can tell me what you think and what you wrote down. Okay? So after we do this, now the main reason I wanted you guys to write down what's the biggest way you can make a change in America is because it's going to tie into our lesson today. So if we look over here on our learning objective, it says, we will be able to compare the differences in political power over the years and identify the major causes of political shift in the United States. Okay? So we need to keep this in mind. This is all going to be about politics. Okay? So I will be able to define the different political parties and determine which media outlets influence views on politics, people's views on politics. So, why am I talking about politics, and how does this even tie into today's question? Okay, so the biggest thing I want you guys to know is when you turn 18, you have the power to go and make a change. You are going to be able to vote. Voting is the biggest thing that you can do to make a powerful change in the United States. This year, 2020, what was the biggest thing that the media was out there? Okay, it was the presidential elections, Biden versus Trump. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind. Okay, so what's the difference between them? And as you remember from last week, we kind of went over the different political parties. So the blue is Democratic, right? And they believe in different things than the red does, the Republicans, right? And on top of that, we also have different political parties that don't have as much momentum as the others, kind of like the Libertarians and the Green Party. Okay? And these people were also on the ballot, but they didn't get as much votes in. I'm pretty sure it was the Libertarian. She got 1.1% out of the whole thing. And then there's also other candidates that people can choose when voting. Okay? So just keep that in mind, the different political parties, that's going to determine where we go in America, what they're going to be focusing on, whether it be the health care, whether it be the economy, okay? So, I want you guys to really think about it for a moment. So, as a student, if you're going to be running as a candidate for anything, whether it be local, whether it be state-wise, or national, how would you conduct your own campaign? What will be the issues you want to be talking about? What's going to make a person vote for you? Okay? So, in order to do this lesson that I have for us today, what I need you guys to do in the notebook, either on a clean page, you can put it on the bottom of wherever you put the prompts. I want you to go ahead and write down Democratic, Republican, voting rights, and elections. So this one is going to kind of have a couple of sections to it. Okay, so you're also going to want to write down to the side the mayoral, primary, and the general elections, okay? So at this time, if you guys want to get in groups of 2, only 2, no more than 2 people, okay? Go ahead and do that, get in your groups, and go ahead and start defining these terms, okay? I'll leave these up on the board with you. Again, I will be walking around, making sure you guys are staying on task, and I want you to give out a brief description, their definition, what you think it means, okay? And write it off to the side, that way you know, you get a better understanding of these terms and how it can help us, okay? So once you finish with that, we will go ahead and look at the different media outlets, okay, and how it connects to these different things, okay? Because I'm going to go ahead and erase the prompt right here. The thing that influences us a lot, and we don't even know it some of the times, is media, okay? So what is media, okay? You don't have to write this down. I'm just asking, what is media? So for a couple of you, you might think Instagram. Instagram is a type of media. It's social media, right? Where else can we get different kinds of media from? Newspapers. Newspapers is a good one, okay? I mean, we're in high school. I'm pretty sure there's the high school newspaper that you guys may not read, but that's another thing. There's a major one that is on morning, noon, and night, so who can tell me that? Just the basic news, the television news, right? TV. Okay. Now, with the television one, this is where it kind of gets, it's pretty much split. So there is an article. I will show you guys the article. That way you guys can read it. But for the most part, these different medias, they're on this line, okay? So let's pretend that this is okay, these are going to be the news medias, okay? And this is going to determine whether, let's say, you're a Republican or you're Democratic. Or you're straight in the middle, you know, you're neutral. The different media outlets are going to represent different things. So if you or your family watches Fox News, then it's going to be more towards the Republican sides. If you watch more CNN news, it's going to be on the Democratic side. But if you don't really want to, if you just want to hear the news and all that stuff where you can make your own decision, then you're probably here and you're probably watching something like ABC News, okay? So depending on where you are on the line, that's going to determine what you think is going to be best for the nation, okay? So the more you lean towards one, then that's where you're going to stick with, and that's who you're going to choose for any kind of elections, okay? So for the lesson today, like I said, I want you guys to define these and at least pick one media source that you guys can work on, and I want you guys to tell me, okay? So where does this land on the scale, and how does this affect these different things, these different elections, these different voting right things? Like, do they see voting as a huge thing? Do they see it as it's okay if you don't vote? I want you guys to like really understand the different sides of politics.